What's going on, guys? Ted here with Elevate Media. I wanted to make a quick video today showing you guys how I set up multiple Kontakt instruments in one Kontakt instance. I recall spending a daunting amount of time trying to figure this out, so I figured the least I could do is share with others how I go about this. For sake of the tutorial, I'm going to be using Logic. So yeah, let's jump right into it. The first and most important step when setting up your software instrument track and adding Kontakt to it is make sure you tell Kontakt to have a multi-output. So if you're adding Kontakt, if you click the arrow, you'll have some options. For this example, I'm choosing the multi-output 16 stereo. So let's go ahead and just create that. We won't add any instruments to Kontakt yet. Let's just get that Kontakt window open. Okay. So what happens is when you tell Kontakt to have a multi-output routing signal there, on the bottom right of that same track you created, you're going to have a minus and plus sign. What you want to do is add the corresponding amount of tracks. So for example, maybe you want 3 instruments in one Kontakt window. So the track you already created is going to act as it's going to be what's receiving the output from instrument number 1. So we'll just call this K1. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click that plus sign and add 2 more. So 2, 3. And then we'll just call that K2 and K3. Okay. There we go. So K1, K2, and K3. What you want to do is after you have those aux tracks created, in this case it's 3, you're going to want to highlight all of them together and then just create new tracks. So right click the tracks you just created, create new track. If we come back to the editor window, after you do that, you want to select these tracks again. So I'm going to do shift click, or you can just command click, highlight all the tracks. On Mac, it's Command Shift D for David, and you want to select the summing stack option. The key word in the details is the multi-purpose track stack. That corresponds to the multi-output of your Kontakt instrument that we just created. So if we click create, what happens now is this is our one single Kontakt group. So for sake of tutorial, we'll call this Kontakt group 1. And then we have our 3 slots. You can think of these as instrument slots for what we're about to feed to it from Kontakt. So Kontakt group 1, okay? Now let's open Kontakt and add 3 instruments. It's really as simple as telling the outputs of each instrument to go to the K1, K2, K3 input tracks that we just created. So let's go ahead and just let's pick some random instruments here on my list. Mac couldn't be any slower right now. All right, let's go to default view, classic view. We'll just drag a couple instruments in. So we're going to do 3 instruments, and then I'll show you guys what to do with the output. All right, let me get these added. All right, so that's instrument 1. Let's throw some choir in there. Why not? I feel like we're about to make a horror trailer or something. Don't worry, I won't do that to you. Maybe on the next one. Do some ethereal earth. Why not? So this will be our 3rd and final instrument for this Kontakt instance. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to assign each instrument to the tracks we just created, K1, K2, and K3. And how we do that is through the output menu on the instrument header. So if you click the I, The reason that we set up Logic first, or I'm sorry, the reason that we set up Kontakt first with the stereo output is so that when we add instruments to Kontakt at least knows to set the output and the MIDI channel. It's not going to set it for you to the tracks you created, but it's at least already, in a sense, preset for you. You just need to tell it which instrument. In this example, it's instrument 1. That's going to be K1, the track we just created. The only thing we're going to do is use the port A, 1. And then we're going to do the same thing all the way down. But of course, we're going to change it now to, that's going to be for K2, right? That's our K2 track. So we'll go to out 2. And then we'll do port A, 2. And then same thing. We'll move along here. This is going to be for our slot 3, K3. Port A, 3. Now, it should, in theory, if we come back to the window, whatever track we select should play. Pretty cool. So we didn't need to add 3 different Kontakt instances in order to get 3 instruments to play. Whatever track you select is gonna play. So if you wanted to create a MIDI region and you wanted to move that region on each location, you now have the ability to play 3 instruments under a single Kontakt instance, which not only saves a lot of CPU, obviously, but it saves you a lot of time when it comes to your workflow, whether you're doing it for fun, whether it's a hobby, or you're doing it for work. I think this is important. So again, this was just a quick video I wanted to make to show you guys how I get it done. Typically I'll have anywhere from 5 to 10 Kontakt instruments in one Kontakt instance to save myself time when I'm doing scores or trailer campaigns. So again, this is Ted with Elevate Media. I'm going to try to make more of these videos. Every Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to put together a short tutorial either over a project I'm working on or something like this. If there's anything that you want to see, definitely leave a comment. I'm always here to help if you have any questions. And I appreciate you guys taking the time today. Thanks a lot.